Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Emma, and recently I tried reading every morning for a week. Some time ago, my friend Ariel Bissett posted a video where she tried reading before 10 p.m. every night, and I always loved that video because reading before bed is something I struggle to do. So one night, it was like 11:30 and I was in bed, probably mad at myself for not reading when I had no reason not to. And I thought back to this video, but I was like, what if instead of reading every night, I read every morning? You know, I consider myself a morning person. I wake up pretty early naturally. Maybe this could be easy. Maybe adding reading to my morning routine would be even more successful than trying to add it at night. So I became curious about a few things. If reading every morning would be a sustainable routine, if reading could help me wake up in the morning, and reading instead of checking social media every morning could benefit me in some way. So I set a few rules for myself to keep things consistent and get the most effective results. Number 1, I had to start reading before 8 a.m. Number 2, I had to read for 30 minutes nonstop. I could read more if I wanted to, or I could stop reading at 30 minutes on the dot, but I needed to get a significant amount of reading done each morning. And number 3, I was not allowed to check social media or my texts until my morning reading was done. I attempted to follow these rules while reading every morning for a week, and I filmed some in-the-moment updates along the journey, so I hope you enjoy the chaos. Good morning. It is about 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning. What a way to start off my week, right? I am about to start my 30 minutes of reading for the day. Because I came up with this video like 30 minutes before I went to bed last night, I am very tired. Today is one of those days where I had to get up extra early to squeeze some reading in because I have to get like fully ready in order to film after work today. So I'm going to do my reading and get ready, and then I'll check in with you guys after. Setting a timer for 30 minutes in 3, 2, 1, go. So I finished my first 30 minutes of reading. I have discovered that 30 minutes is a lot. This past week, I've probably been reading for maybe like 10 minutes before bed. So reading for 30 minutes just laying down is something I haven't done in a hot second. I definitely found myself looking at my timer to see like how many more minutes do I have. But I read a lot of pages and I am significantly more awake, so that's good. So now it is time to get up and get ready, and I will let you know if I encounter any more benefits or consequences from reading this morning. So, I did encounter one of my consequences this morning where I did not get to do my makeup before leaving for work. Obviously, I did it after, but I had intended to get it done in the morning so I could jump right into filming when I got home. Other than that, I feel like I went to work feeling pretty good and energized today, which isn't always the case, so that's a really good thing. As I spent all evening filming, like it's 11:15 and I'm only just eating my dinner now, I am nowhere near ready for bed, which means I highly doubt I will be able to pack up my lunch and bag for work tomorrow morning, and that means I have to account for extra time to do that in the morning in addition to reading for 30 minutes. I'm tired, so I make no promises that I'll be able to properly prepare myself, so I might just need to get up a little extra early tomorrow in order to read. So I also decided to keep a record of some factors during the week to help me determine if this is ultimately a worthwhile experience or if I just made my life a million times more stressful for no reason. Those factors are rating my tiredness before and after reading to see if it actually helped me wake up or made me even more tired. What time I started reading to hold myself accountable for reading before 8. How many pages I read to see if I'm actually making progress or if I'm just like staring at the page half asleep. And also any consequences I encounter by prioritizing reading in my morning, and that could be anything from not getting enough sleep to not having enough time to get fully ready in the morning or even being late to work. So in between each update, I'll share all my notes and whatnot so you can see the actual data from this experiment. We are on day 2 of this little reading experiment. It is almost 7 a.m. I woke up like extra early today just because I forgot to close my blinds last night, so the sun woke me up, which is like kind of cute and romantic, you know? Normally I'd be mad about it, but I have to get up early to do this every morning anyway, so it's really a win-win. I realized that this challenge isn't as much like, can I read every morning, but like, can I do everything I need to in the morning while also reading? I'm actually going to have a cup of tea and read read on my deck this morning because it's pretty nice out, and because I woke up so early, I have some extra time. So yeah, let's dive in. So I'm very happy to say that I actually experienced no consequences from reading this morning. Because I didn't have to do my makeup and my hair stayed from yesterday, I like only had to pack up my stuff for work this morning. So reading did not set me off course this morning, which is very exciting. I actually feel like I had a very like slow and relaxing morning because I took the time to read outside. Tomorrow is my first off day of this weekly experiment, so I don't have to get up early for work, but I do have to start reading before 8, so we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, I began encountering some issues a bit earlier than expected with day 3. So it is not before 8 a.m. I overslept today, which honestly is fine because the main point of this whole experiment I'm doing is not like the time that I read at, but just the fact that I read every morning before I get up and start my day. I think it's pretty reasonable that I overslept today considering I stayed up until 1 a.m. finishing Frankly in Love so that I could start a new book this morning. I'm going to be starting Something Like Gravity by Amber Smith, which was one of my most anticipated of the year. And I think today I'm going to read in my reading nook, which I haven't done in a seriously long time. So not a major issue, I just started bending the rules of this experiment very early. Which is fine, because it's not like this actually means anything she says on the brink of an existential crisis. It's fine. I didn't suffer any consequences for waking up late because it was an off day, so I can be a bit more flexible, but that's definitely not a luxury I can afford if I want to read every morning. Now, by day 4, I had imagined my plans for this experiment going from stressful to disastrous as evidenced by this clip here. But surprisingly, it turned out kind of successful.
So it is 4:30 in the morning. I am sitting by myself in Penn Station because tonight, or technically yesterday, was Natalia's birthday, so we went out to live on in the city, which is really fun. What's not fun is the fact that I'm not going to get home until like close to 6 a.m. and I work at 9. Will I take a nap for an hour or will I pull an all-nighter? The day is so young, so it's so full of possibilities. So here I am regretting my life choices to do this dumbass challenge I assigned to myself for no reason when I'm out until 6 a.m. But I found a solution. I bought my current read on Kindle so I could get my 30 minutes of reading done now. If emmmabooks can read on a dirty train door at 4:30 in the morning, you have no excuse to not pick up your book today. Also, that means the production value of this video went up by $10.99, so like you should watch my ads. Oh, also, look what I got. Cause why? Cause I, a hoe, do indeed love Duncan. Okay, I'm gonna go read, bye.
So things worked out because number 1, I was able to read all of my 30 minutes before 8 a.m., which is the biggest shocker of all. But 2, it totally woke me up to the point where I was not tired whatsoever and ended up pulling an all-nighter. That being said though, it did not feel like the most valid testing day. I started reading much earlier compared to all of my other days. I was in a totally different location and I had to stop and start reading a few times because I was moving. So, I did not read this morning. Listen, I really wanted to read every single morning for this challenge because like obviously that's the point, but it just didn't happen today. I think it's pretty reasonable considering last night I fell asleep topless like in the middle of me putting on my pajamas to go to bed and I forgot to set alarms, so I woke up at 8 and had to leave for a doctor's appointment at 8:45 and it just didn't happen. I will admit to the fact that I did check my texts and scroll on Twitter for a few seconds before I went,
and
and realized I am not allowed to do that this week. So today was like the biggest fail that it could have been, but everything is fine. I'm in bed at a reasonable time tonight. My night routine is done and I did some prepping for tomorrow morning. So I definitely think I can get myself back on track for the last few days of this experiment. So I'm going to do a little reading before I head to sleep to catch up a little bit, and then I will check in with you guys tomorrow morning as I fully intend on getting back to like the main focus and plan for this experiment. Guys, I cheated. I checked social media this morning. I'm so weak, guys. I have no self-control. Whatever, it's fine. That's like such a dumb thing for me to get upset with myself about. And I did get my 30 minutes of reading done this morning anyways. But I'm pretty confident that social media is going to make me run a little bit late this morning. And if I had started reading earlier, it would have been fine. I'm gonna go run to get ready, but I am really happy I like got myself back on track with reading like normally in the morning after these past few days, which have been a little hectic, and I have a feeling that it will help me do better for the last 2 days of this experiment. Not checking social media was definitely the biggest challenge of the week. Getting up with the desire to read was the easy part. I say that with the full awareness that I woke up late one day and skipped another altogether. But I am so addicted to my phone, and like I have some deeper issues that can't be solved than me just trying to replace it with something else for 1 week. Morning. It is 7:59 a.m. on Saturday, which means I am right on time for my morning reading. I definitely did think I was gonna have more time to myself this morning because I am working again. I thought I was gonna be able to do my makeup and my hair and read, and that just clearly isn't happening. But we're back on track. I haven't checked social media this morning. I'm about to start reading and it's gonna be a good time. So I just realized that technically yesterday was day 7 of this reading experiment, but because I did skip a day, I was like, I want to do 7 days of reading in the morning, so let me do 1 more day. It's like 8:25, it is not before 8 a.m. So I'm going to do my last 30 minutes of morning reading, and then I'll check in with you guys and just chat about the overall experience. Reading every morning for a week. Overall, this experience was much harder than expected.
Maybe this could be easy.
I definitely struggled to maintain the rules I had set for myself at some points, and it did make my mornings significantly more rushed a lot of the time. I feel like if I were to do this again, I would have to start reading before like 7 a.m. in order to have time to do other things. I don't think it necessarily made me any less tired in the morning. There were actually some days where I became even more tired because I was able to just like veg out in bed and relax. But despite the mild failures, I do think it really paid off in reading. Combined, I read 363 pages just in the morning. That is like an entire book in itself. So realistically, if I continued doing this, I could potentially finish an extra book a week. So do I think reading every morning is worth it? Probably not, at least for me. I definitely encountered a few too many slip-ups and mild consequences for it to be worth it, but I'm still really glad I gave it my best shot. But that concludes this little reading experiment, so I hope you guys enjoyed. In the comments below, I would love to know a little bit more about your reading routines. Do you set aside some time to read every single day, or do you just read when you can, and how does that work for you? But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new one. Bye!